Well, hello and welcome once again to another edition of the show. And I always say happy Monday, but today is a special day, of course, being Remembrance Day. And the snow came along with it here in Sarnia, but that didn't stop many people from getting out. But we'll talk about that in just a moment. But hope you had a good weekend. Were you able to get out and enjoy and have some fun? Speaking of the snow, well, it's not really the first snow. We had some snow the other day, right? But this was definitely the first snow where it stayed here. We hear that about 15 centimeters today, or coming today still. I guess it's still snowing out there. I know my son already shoveled things once, and he's going to have to do that again. He already knows that. And then we're supposed to get more, a bit of a break, and then we're supposed to get more again. But 'tis the season. We are into November, right? We're allowed to expect snow this time of year by now where we live. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here today, and appreciate you stopping by every week. Monday's always a great time for me because I get to talk to some fantastic people who are doing some positive and fun things in our community. And before we get started, I always like to go to the comments out there and see who's watching. Let's say hello to Shannon. Appreciate you being here, Shannon. And there's our friend Domingos. Dom, I appreciate you helping Stephen Healy out. My friend Stephen Healy, for those of you who don't know, I do a weekly show with Stephen. He's in the United Kingdom, and we do something every Monday at 12 o'clock. But I wasn't able to because I was live streaming the Remembrance Day ceremony earlier today as well. So Dom was on there joining him to keep things going and was talking about his book. And Dom, we'll have you back soon on the show to get an update on what's happening with Dom's book. Shannon said, you're moving to Hawaii. Why? Where? See, most people say, oh, I'm moving to London or Toronto or Alberta or something. You're moving to Hawaii. Tell me about that. Take me with you. I've always wanted to go to Hawaii. It's a beautiful place from what I understand, but that's exciting news that you're moving. All right, well, we got to move on. Let's start talking about things in the community here. Of course, today, again, being Remembrance Day, lest we forget, and I have to say I was there live streaming. I got things set up earlier this morning, and thanks to my friend Pat Morrison, who was there and had a tent, and I was able to get some of my equipment under his tent with all the snow that was falling down. And, you know, a lot of times weather dictates outdoor activities and how many people show up. But I have to say, pretty proud of the fact that there were still so many people, hundreds of people showing up at the Sarnia Cenotaph today to pay their respects, and so many there to lay the wreaths of people they represent or, lost loved ones. I have to say, I've always taken it very seriously, Remembrance Day, back from, when I was in public school to high school. It was always talked about and shared in the schools. I don't know what happens with that now. Life's changed a lot. But honestly, I don't have any family directly close to me that's been involved in the military or ever served a grandfather or anything like that. But I have a lot of friends who have served and lost a couple, and just know many that are currently serving and take the time. And in fact, the Padre that spoke earlier today and gave quite a nice talk with prayer, said, take the time to thank a veteran. When you see a veteran, just stick out your hand and just say, thank you. Because, well, it's important, right? I don't think I have to go on about why it's important. I hope you all understand the importance of it. And I hope we continue to pass on the importance of it to the younger generation that's coming after us. It was mentioned also in his talk earlier that we need to tell the stories of those who have fallen. And if anyway, it was just a nice, touching words that were shared out there, and it was really nice to see again. Give you a full shot of all the people that were there today to remember, and the weather did not stop them. So That's good as well. So hope you were able to get out and perhaps be one of the ones there. And for those of you that weren't one of the ones there, I did live stream the ceremony. It's about an hour in length, and you can see that there's a link on the Facebook page here. Thousands of people have already watched it, and I invite you to take a look at it as well. But don't watch it right now. Stay here with me and watch it after the show, because I got some great people we're going to talk to coming up in a few moments here. And after the show, keep in mind, I will post all the links to the people that we talked to here. And if you want to share your comments, as Shannon and who else is out there? Shannon and Dom. Oh, and there's Joel Bissonette. Yes. Says, thank you for streaming the show. You're absolutely welcome. I saw you there walking away, Joel. It was nice to see you there in representation as well. And Dom saying you're welcome. I think that's for, he was helping Stephen out with the show. And, thanks for the love, Shannon. And let's see. Shannon says, I had 3 family members in World War II, and my grandfather was in the Navy. Well, it's a little more personal. It's a really personal day for a lot of people, very emotional. It was an emotional day down there for sure, understandably. But, something to never forget, that's for sure. All right, let's move on now. And this is exciting. This is something different. I had Jamie Pohl, who was here last week representing the Rotary Club of Sarnia, the the older group, as he liked to put it, or the more mature group. There's like 3 different ones here. And they normally have their annual Rotary TV auction on a local cable channel. And this year they've just decided, he said, well, we're just going to get with the program and modernize things. They're strictly doing their auction online. Pardon me. And you can find out more about that and all the items they're currently available for viewing at sarniarotaryauction.com. Now, when you go there, you will see some blocks that say block closed. That just means they haven't opened yet. You can still click on them. Pardon me. You can still click on them and see all the items that are available. The 450, I think he said, let me just double check. But yeah, I think he said like 450 plus items that are available, from TVs to food cards to, he said they got a lot of food stuff on there, and massage gift certificates. They've got, the electronic devices, lawn care to Patty Flair. They're just, it goes on and on and on. And the great thing about it is 100% of everything that's sold there goes to the Sarnia Rotary. And they do, of course, a lot of things in our communities around the planet. And if you want to find out more about that, there's information at sarniarotaryauction.com as well. And you can watch the interview that we had last week with Jamie Pohl on the show. And very, very informative. A lot of things that you maybe don't know about the Rotary, for example, being involved in the cure for polio. Pardon me. I could find a cure for the cold. That'd be great. So a great interview there. And so why not do some Christmas shopping and support a great local cause here that gives back into our community daily? Go to sarniarotaryauction.com to find out more about all the details and how you can give them some support. Yep. Happy New Year 20. How are we going to say this? Are we going to say Happy New Year 2020? Are we saying Happy New Year 2020? I think 2020 sounds more fun, right? So you got to be planning for New Year's Eve, and our friends at the Moose Lodge are already selling tickets. Tickets on sale now at the Moose Lodge, and it's going to be a dance party. It's going to be a lot of fun, and they're going to have a dinner as well, of course. And then the fun is going to be put on by the Song Machine, a local band, very entertaining band. Sean Robbins and his group, always very entertaining. The Song Machine Band for 2020 or 2020? I'm going with 2020. I think that's the best way to go. Anyway, you can get tickets for that. It's $40 a person or $70 for a couple. And I would invite you to go to Facebook and talk to our friends at the Moose Lodge there. David Burrows always around there somewhere answering all the messages. Or just go down and see them there on Phillip Street. If you're not a member of something, or you're looking for being a part of something and volunteering, or just not volunteering, you just want to go somewhere. I was there the other day live streaming. They call it Hillbilly Horseshoes. Hillbilly Horseshoes. You ever cornhole? You know what cornhole is? Or beanbag toss? They had indoor They call it Hillbilly Horseshoes. They have 16 teams there, friendly competition for a couple hours. And they asked me to come in and live stream it so that we could show all of you just all the fun they have. They have TV bingo on Tuesday nights. They have dinners every Friday. And they're just encouraging the public to come out and check them out and see what they're all about. And if you decide you wanted to be a member, wait for it. I hope you're sitting down. $40 a year for membership. That's it. And that gives you access to all the Moose Lodges all over North America, 1,600 different locations, insurance benefits, medical benefits, all kinds of stuff. So the $40 alone is worth. Anyway, I'm not here to try to sell you on it. I am a member myself, and I can tell you that I'm happy to be a part of the Moose Lodge. There's a lot of things to be involved with, but one that I would say definitely worth checking out. They have something going on 7 days a week here at the Moose Lodge. Again, from bingo to they'll have football parties, and there's dinner every Friday, and they have breakfast on Sunday. It's really a great place to be, and very welcoming people down there as well. And you can go celebrate the new year 2020 with them by getting your tickets for that. All right, let's talk Sarnia Sting, shall we? I got to tell you, so I had my first experience with the Sarnia Sting in a different way. I was the PA announcer for the game on Sunday, and I had a couple of hiccups, but we got through it, and it was a great experience, and I was happy to be a part of creating the excitement in the arena that day. That excitement didn't just come from my voice. It came from the Sarnia Sting themselves. It's definitely more than a game when we're talking the Sarnia Sting, and more than a game it was and has been. Let's take a quick close-up of some of the scores. This is brought to you by Oswald's Diner here in Sarnia and Active Ears Hearing Center in Sarnia as well. Your Sarnia Sting recap. They would take on the Greyhounds on Friday, and of course, this is a Western Division rivalry. It has been for many, many years. And wow, they were 6-1 at one point. Sarnia Sting was definitely there to show the Sioux Greyhounds that they can win against them. I've always been a tough team to beat. It did get a little nervous in the third period when the Sioux Greyhounds came back with a couple of goals to bring it up to 4. And you're like, oh, right. And then, as victory would have it, the Sarnia Sting won again, making it 7-4. And then yesterday we were there, and this was a really tough game against the North Bay Battalion, and the North Bay real chipping hard and got a little aggressive there, really aggressive at some points. They would come out to win 4-2, but was tough going in the very beginning stages of it. It took a long time for either team to get a goal, and then it was a lot of back and forth. But as you can see, then final score 4-2. We did talk, and we're able to hook up with Anthony Tabak, and we're just going to take you to that interview here and I had it ready. Here it is. We're going to take you right now to see Anthony Tabak. He's going to talk about their game. Take a look. All right, apologize. Doesn't seem to be any sound coming into there, so apologize for that. But Anthony Tabak, they're happy to be talking to us with positive results, and then they're going to be back next week, and they'll take on the Ottawa 67s. There'll be a bit of a rivalry there too, as the Sarnia Sting, when they were on their winning streak, it was the Ottawa 67s that stopped them while they were on the road. Now, notably, they've never been able to win against the Ottawa 67s when they play them in Ottawa for like 10 years or something like that. So they'll be looking for some payback, and that will happen next Sunday. We'll be back. I'll be live on the concourse again. And I want to say thanks to my friends Jake Chersky and Danny Cacciamilio for filling in for me this past weekend. But I'll be back on the concourse as the Sarnia Sting play host to the Ottawa 67s. All right, there's a happy-looking bunch, and you want to know what they're all about and what they're doing? Well, we're going to get to that right here. You ever think about doing something outdoors, or maybe you're already involved with that? Well, we've got Mike Tanner from the Lambton Outdoor Club who's going to join us here to talk some more. Hi, Mike. How you doing? Hello, Mike? Hello? Hello, Mike.
Oh, hi, Dave.
Hi, there you are. Okay, a little refresh always helps, I guess. Thanks for joining us here. You're part of the Lambton Outdoor Club.
Yes, I've been a member for about 15 years. I was president, and now I am past president. But I'm still active.
Yeah, and well, I guess active is the key word in a club like the Lambton Outdoor Club.
Well, we're a four-season club. We cater to hikers, cyclists, paddlers, and in the winter, when the snow arrives, we get outside and cross-country or snowshoe.
Yeah, well, I'm seeing, I don't know if you can see the pictures up there now, but going for a walk in the woods. I think this was in Spring Bank or something like that.
Yeah, that might be Westminster Woods in London.
Okay, all right.
We have we do hikes weekly. We every Tuesday there's a local hike that's about 2 hours, maybe up to about 10K. And on the weekend we're a bit more ambitious, go maybe 10, 15 kilometers, and we will do local hikes, but also maybe drive to London or up to Exeter and see some different terrain.
Okay. I've got a question out there from one of our viewers, Joel Bissonette. Thanks, Joel. He says, does the Outdoor Club do geocaching?
No, that is not part of our activities right now, but we're always looking to expand what we do.
Right. Well, maybe Joel can join and he can lead the way on that.
Well, that's exactly. And we're a club of volunteers, so we rely on people to share their passion for the outdoors and encourage others, and to share their expertise.
Right. Now, you said you've been a member for quite a few years. How long has the club existed in Lambton County?
If you do the math, we started in 1991, so that's what, 28 years.
Oh, okay. Wow. And a good size number of active members?
And membership hovers around 300. So,
oh, wow.
And it's split between different. Some people do everything, and others are just hikers or cyclists, depending on preference, age, and ability.
Okay.
I used to hike a lot more until my knees told me I had to ride a bike. So that's what I do now.
Right, I got you. Well, I guess you think of this as I guess some fresh air and outdoor exercise, I guess, is probably the first thing that comes to mind. But I don't have them all here, but I was going through the Facebook page and looking at a lot of the pictures. There's really an education factor that seems to go along with this as well.
Well, we encourage people to enjoy the outdoors. And a lot of people, if they go out for a hike, they might go around to Canatara or down the Howard Watson Trail.
Yeah.
But even in Sarnia within about 15 minutes, there's a lot more varied places to hike. And, we try and explore our local areas and open people's minds to what the outdoors has to offer. And there's also a kind of therapeutic something called forest bathing, which is if you're in the outdoors, in the woods, in nature, you experience a kind of peacefulness and a sense of being with nature. And we just encourage people to explore their own limits as well. A lot of people start by, just coming out for an easy walk or an easy ride, and then are
Right.
encouraged by others.
Yeah. And does the group also meet like indoors to do like to have kind of social gathering as well, or is everything done outdoors?
Well, I should mention that we are an outdoor club with an eating disorder, because most of our activities at some point will involve a coffee or a lunch, or we believe in enjoying ourselves, and part of the enjoyment is stopping to eat together.
Yeah. What's the how far would the club say travel to enjoy an outdoor activity? Like you mentioned London there, but do they go further? Do you do bus trips?
Well, our members, we have another group, or a group of long distance hikers that have done the Bruce Trail, for example.
Oh, okay.
And they will go away for a weekend 2 or 3 times a year, and then they'll do a section, whether it's in Hamilton or around the Bruce or up in the Collingwood area. And so over a period of years, you kind of string the whole thing together and do the Niagara to Tobermory. So,
oh, wow.
And we've got other members who, quite a few of them, have gone to Spain and do the Camino de Santiago, the long distance path across Spain.
Right.
Some people have done the parts of the Appalachian Trail. So there's a real encouragement to get out and be ambitious.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and I'm guessing that there's when those people come back to the club, there's a lot of stories and conversation that happen at those those eating times.
Well, you're absolutely right. We have a couple of socials every year. There's one coming up, New Year's Day. We have a New Year's Day hike. So if you want to kind of start the New Year resolution by getting outdoors, we have a hike New Year's Day. We start at 2 p.m. from All Saints Church in downtown Sarnia. Hike, and then there's a potluck supper, and then there's a presentation. And this year the presentation is on cycling through Germany. So there's a lot to inspire people. And myself, I started cycling about 5 years ago, more seriously, and then I just accepted an invitation to ride a ride called Ragbray, which is a week-long crazy ride across Iowa, of all places. And it's the world's largest, longest mass cycle ride. There's 20,000 people.
Wow.
And it is an amazing life experience.
I bet.
And from that, I just lucked in with another 5 or 4 guys my age, and I'm no spring chicken. And last summer we rode across Canada. So, the encouragement and opportunity really opened the doors to doing things that you would never believed you were capable of.
Well, I have to say that's impressive, but I'll be honest in saying, like, I think about there must be different levels of ability. Like, some people, aren't as mobile as they used to. Like you say, when we get older, our limbs don't work as
well. Okay,
that sort of thing. But are there different levels going on there? Is everybody like considered when planning these things?
Absolutely. Well, take cycling, for example.
Okay.
There's a group called Slow Spokes, and they all they want to do is about 20K and stop for lunch. And so they go every Wednesday in the summer, and it's somewhere within certainly within Lambton County, and they are not ambitious. They're not headbangers. They want to do any more than about 20K. And then we have weekend rides that are maybe up to 80K for people who are more ambitious. So we try and cater for every level of ability, but the important thing is to get out and enjoy the great outdoors.
Yeah, for sure. When you say you have a membership of 300, is that the number that's coming out to these things regularly, or is it kind of like, is it the same people, or does it change all the time, or what kind of numbers do you see coming out to the activities?
Well, 300 are the registered members, but for a typical hike, we'd get maybe 10 or 15.
Right.
Same for a bike ride. Some of the more popular ones, you might get 20 or 30, depending on, for example, about a year ago, we went out to the Oil Heritage Museum, and there's the attraction there was to go around the museum, and then there's a nature trail around that, and we had about 50 people come out. So that was kind of the top end, but it's all over. But by and large, it's small groups, and part of the attraction for people is you get to meet other like-minded folk. We are known to be a very social, easy to get to know club, and people are looking to not just to get outside, but to meet other people.
Yeah, and what kind of relationships have you been able to establish through all of this? Like, the more than when you first started, you said you've been involved about 15 years.
Yeah, well, I've made friendships through the club. There's actually some marriages that have started, couples that have met and married on hikes and on activities. So what you find is that people who are ambitious, people who kind of want to explore the outdoors, like to travel together. There's a couple of ladies who got to know each other and spent this summer hiking the West Highlands of Scotland, or others have done the Camino. It's sociability is important in life, and when you find someone that you get on with and have similar ambitions, the chemistry usually works.
And great things happen when that happens, right?
Yeah, and what I personally have found in the club, it's a great encourager. I mean, when it's raining or snowing or muddy or wet or cold, normal people stay inside close to the fire, but people in the outdoor club, weather is not by and large an impediment. You just kind of make it work.
Yeah. When you first joined, I'm curious, were you already active, or was this something, what got you to join the club? How did that happen for you?
Well, like a lot of people, I was working at the time. I didn't have a lot of spare time, and I just felt that if I joined the club, I would make it a priority to get out.
Right.
And many of our members are pre-retirees or retirees, and I hear the same story that I've always wanted to do this kind of thing, but never got around to it. And the club is pretty informal. That we have a website with all the events on it. It's interactive, so you're able to sign up online to join. Or to join an activity, and we welcome the public to come out. We encourage people to try us out for 3 events, and if you like what you see, then take out a membership. And it's not going to break the bank. It's $25 a year for a membership. So it's and for that you get to join any activities and explore part of the world that you never dreamed existed.
Yeah, and like you said, there's a lot right around us here that we probably don't know. I've had some other nature clubs, if you will, on the show locally, and discovered quite a bit about a community I've lived in all my life just by talking about it. And then you say not having to go too far away from where we are to discover, well, I guess a lot of nature's best.
Well, that's right. I mean, if you go down Kimball down to Bickford Line, you've got Bickford Woods down there, which is a huge tract of not exactly wilderness, but very remote forest that very few people know about.
Yeah, yeah. So people can go and I'm just looking, I've been showing the website here, but they can go to the website and that's where they can obviously get all the information, but they can sign up there on the website.
Yeah, you can sign up. There's a huge picture gallery of what we do, information about hikes that are coming up, and in the winter it's pretty much hiking, but once April, May comes around, we're out cycling and paddling as well.
Fantastic. Well, Mike, I got to tell you, I really enjoy. You alone, you're just a nice conversationalist. So you'd be welcoming to new members and make it easy to talk to. And I'm sure you've got a lot of stories to share.
Well, I hope so. I also edit the newsletter and write some of it, so I enjoy gathering stories, hearing people's stories, and encouraging others to make the most of what of their opportunities.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being here and sharing part of your story, and we'll definitely post all your links again after the show and see if we can encourage. You might even get me out to one of these pretty soon. You know,
well, miracles happen.
Yeah, well, my wife says we need to get out more and be more active, so she'll have a lot of influence on that one right there.
Exactly. Mike, try us out.
That's right. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Mike Tanner, nice to have him there, and we can have him back anytime. I'm sure he's got a lot more that he could share with us. And it's the Lambton Outdoor Club, once again, and I'll put that up on the screen for you to find out more. You just go to their website, lambtonoutdoorclub.org, and of course, like most people should be, they're also available on Facebook. And that Facebook was where I got a few of the pictures that I showed there. There's a whole mess of pictures there, and they look like a happy bunch having a lot of fun. So why wouldn't you want to hang around that, right? Positive vibes on there for sure. And you might be surprised about what's just around you in the community that, as Mike said, you could discover. So thanks again to Mike Tanner for taking the time to join us here today. All right. Well, if you got some dreams, do you love music? Well, I've got a guest on coming up here next that, we've got quite a story to share with them. Let's just bring them on and we'll just get right to it. Here's my friend, Sean Schram. Thanks for being here, Sean.
Oh, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You're a pretty busy guy lately these days.
Yeah, you can say I've been busier than a rabbit in heat.
Okay. All right. That's one way of putting it. Let's go back a little bit. I know we've got lots that we can talk about and we're going to get as much out there as possible, but you and I have met, how many years ago now? Do you recall?
I actually can't recall when we met, if it was when you started doing karaoke at Lambton College. I know you knew my parents before then. I might have grown up around you a bit.
Yeah. I knew your mom and dad now we're going further back than I want to go back. But you were going to Lambton College there, and I was there doing some stuff. That was probably about 5-6 years ago now. And I know what did you take at the college?
I took business.
Right. And now that's sort of led into, you've been a musician for quite some time, and you've decided that I want to be a musician and that's what I want my career to be.
Yeah. When I first seen my first rock concert, I was around 12. I seen Motley Crue at Bayfest, which is now Borderfest. And when I seen them, I'm like, that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. Quite the role models, eh?
There you go. Well, you're an interesting story because you're a young fella. How old are you?
I'm 20. I'm going to be 26 next month.
Right. Okay. So even from a very young age, you're really into, like, I guess, the classic rock and retro, I guess. Is that like you're into the 80s rock is a big part of what you enjoy?
Yeah, you could call it dad rock or baby boomer rock.
Right. And you've got something that you're doing. It's called the Midnight Special Tribute Unplugged Experience. That's a
Yeah,
mouthful.
so yes, it is. So what the Midnight Special Tribute Unplugged experience is just that. It's an experience of a time when the baby boomers grew up listening to music that celebrated sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That when they
Right.
turned on sorry?
I'm just agreeing with you. Yeah.
Yeah, and when they turned on the midnight TV show, they'd see their favorite rock bands like Fleetwood Mac, Cheap Trick, Elton John, etc. Those are all the artists I play with the as the midnight special tribute unplugged experience. See, it's so long that I even forget how I put it.
And now this is when you come out, and this is a one man show, right?
Yeah, it's just me and acoustic guitar, which has some benefits. It's unique because, well, I haven't noticed any other acoustic classic rock acts, just a ton of electric classic rock groups, which are great. But I think, I don't think have you seen any other acoustic acts like that?
Well, not like this, I mean, like I've seen there's acoustic acts for sure, but you've really picked up on a niche and created your own theme and brand with what you're doing, right? And let's talk a little bit about the whole experience of being a musician, because are you're not quite doing this full time yet. That's something you're still working on, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and is it harder than you thought it would be to try and pull this off?
Yes and no. I'm a firm believer of, oh, what's that word? If you believe something and you are persistent, anything is possible.
Yeah, I agree. Um, you and I have talked before about musicians and their value. How do you feel about the music industry, and are musicians getting treated fairly, paid fairly?
Well, I've seen some interesting things. The state of the music industry basically is they say about 1,200 streams equals to about one album sale. It's ridiculous. So I'm always encouraging people to support live music and local acts and buy physical copies.
Yeah, well, there's and I guess we could probably do a whole show on the whole Spotify and podcasts and that sort of thing. But it really has changed a lot. And a lot of artists have spoken up loudly. Aerosmith, Steven Tyler, for example, he's go watch his videos on his thoughts on it. But there's certainly been a big paradigm shift in the way we buy music because of technology. But that being said, I've also seen, and if you talk to our friends down at Cheeky Monkey, they'll tell you that vinyl album sales is actually back up on the climb. Do you release stuff? Have you been able to release stuff in vinyl, or how do you release stuff when you put it out?
I've done mostly video covers, and so I do some. I'm going to get back into it. It's been a while, but I have some YouTube video covers, electric guitar covers.
Sorry, say that again. You cut out there for a second.
Yeah, so I have kind of my own personal recording studio, and I have a couple electric guitar covers on YouTube that I recorded myself with a backing track.
Right. So, do you look at putting stuff out on vinyl, or are you just strictly looking at digital?
I haven't given it that much thought, but down the road I will be writing original material.
Right. Okay. So where do you want to head with this? Are you obviously you're doing some of your own stuff, but you're playing, the covers and the rock and roll and the stuff that's influenced you. Where do you want to be with all this? Do you want to be on stage in a band, or do you want to be in a studio musician, or what direction are you looking at taking?
So I'm pretty flexible because of how unstable the music industry can be. I am a one-man show right now because it's hard to get a group of 3 to 5, people in the same room at the same time, with the same dedication. So that's why I have this one-man show going on. But preferably, I'm more of a guitar player and have someone else sing.
Right. Are you self-taught?
Yes. Yeah, I was self-taught the first year, and then Steve Dumont of Play for Music, in the midst of his retirement. Congratulations to him if he's watching.
Yeah, I saw him earlier today, actually.
Yeah, he's having a lot of fun now that he's basically retired, and he taught me for about 2 years, and I progressed pretty fast in just only 2 years to be able to. If anything else, I'll learn it by myself now.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. That's the talent that you have to be able to do that and pick it up that fast. Some take years and years and years and years and years, and you've been able to pull it off in a short time where you're out on your own. Because like when I've been out in local spots and seen you, you're a one-man show. You're up there. It's just you and the guitar, and you just keep going. I've seen you play to 3 people in a room, and I've seen you play to 50 people in a room. You just seem to be real passionate about it, and you just seem to love it. You're playing at your heart out, no matter what sides of the crowd. Is that hard do you find it hard to get up there on your own, or do you just push through and say, this is me?
I just push through and always play like there's 1,000 people in front of me.
Yeah. Well, that's a good way to look at it, because everybody deserves the same performance. They always deserve your best, right? And you're here in Sarnia. You were in London for a while, but you're back Sarnia way, right?
Yeah, I'm back in the Sarnia Lambton area. I moved out that way, bigger city, so I thought there'd be more opportunity, more places to play. But it was just about the same. And actually, recently, I'm now gigging regularly in this area, probably due to my network and growing up in this area.
Well, relationships definitely helps in the entertainment field, that's for sure. And so, do you have people? Like who supports you locally? Do you have a regular spot that you play?
Yeah, I played at Piccadilly's Bar and Grill in Sarnia on Divine Street. I'm playing there this Saturday in the evening, 9 to 1. And then December 14th, I play there again at the same time. There's only about 30 spots to sit until people got to start standing. So
yeah,
come out early and get your no cover, by the way.
Okay, perfect. Well, I know Mom and Dad are pretty proud of you, especially Mom. She's always when I run into her when you're performing, she's always dancing and pretty happy about her son performing.
Don't remind me.
Well, you gotta have Mom and Dad in the corner. That's a big support. That's awesome. And you've got to. Do you work through an agency or something to get those gigs, or do you just go and figure this out on your own?
Right now, though, I've been getting booked through Jason Richards of DJ Nightlife, and
Okay.
I can't talk. There's more exciting stuff coming that we're talking about, but I can't talk any details because nothing's been finalized. And then there's some
Okay.
other things coming up that everyone listening should look forward to that I can't talk about yet. Nothing finalized, but yeah, a lot of exciting things are happening.
Oh, you're teasing me now. We'll have to have you back, and you can talk about those exciting things when they come forward.
I'd look forward to it.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to throw out there before I let you go?
Yeah. So I just wanted to say what makes the Midnight Special Tribute Unplugged experience unique is I play the same top 40 songs, those other electric classic rock bands play, but I can also play even more than that because not all songs sound great with just acoustically, or it doesn't sound, the lighter songs don't sound as great with a full band, or they have more to work with, more to figure out. So I can play more, I can switch it up. They're acoustic songs, so people aren't
Right.
as picky when I don't play them like the recording. So they're more unique. and I make them my own.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I've noticed that about you, and you do it in such a great way. One of the ones that you do is, I love the Eagles, right? So I know you do some Eagles in there. So I always enjoy when you do that, and I've just enjoyed. I've seen you progress, right? You know, from going back years ago, and I know we've had a lot of conversations as we've got to know each other over the years, and you know, I've said to people, just keep your eye on that guy. Like, you know, he's getting there. And every time I see you, you've grown a little bit more with your talents, and you have the right attitude. You're very persistent. You have the philosophy. You believe in yourself, which is a big part of, I mean, you couldn't have picked a tougher industry to succeed in, like the entertainment world, right?
That's what makes it worth it. I actually give you some credit for me singing solo now, all them times singing karaoke at the college. Not a lot of, maybe my close friends knew, but that was like practice for me to do it. And if I chose something that was completely out of range, nobody cared because everybody was drinking and it was just karaoke. But to me personally, it was practice and seeing what I can do, what I can't do, what I can push myself to do.
Yeah, and you just don't worry about what anybody else thinks. You just go up and do it, and you've done well. Like I say, you've progressed every time I've seen you, and you're having fun, right?
Oh yes, I feel on top of the world when I play or sing.
Yeah, it shows in your performance, Sean. I got to tell you, I'm proud of you, and keep going, man. You're going to get to where you want to be for sure.
Well, thank you, Dave.
Right on. Well, thanks so much for being here, Sean. And again, where are you again? You're at Piccadilly's this Saturday?
Yeah, Piccadilly's in Sarnia on Divine Street in the evening, 9 to 1.
9 to 1. Perfect. We'll look forward to seeing you down there. Thanks again, Sean. Enjoy the rest of your day, sir.
You too. Thanks for having me. Take care.
You're welcome back anytime. My friend Sean Schram, who's the Midnight Special Tribute Unplugged Experience. Say that 5 times fast. But he is a performer, and he will entertain you, and he has got some big dreams, and he's got the right attitude to make his way towards that success. So we've been trying to have him here on the show for quite some time. We're both pretty busy, but we were finally able to pull that off. So I was glad to have him here. Check him out at Piccadilly's this week and find out more about his dreams and his music. And he's a pretty talented guy. So that'll be cool if you go down and check him out. I'm going to go down and check him out. That's for sure. I've seen him before, and I always get a chance to. I have known his mom and dad for quite some time. We won't go into that story, but so it's always nice to be able to go see them and catch up with things as well. Well, it's been a busy time here in the show. We've had lots of conversations. I want to thank all of you, as always, for showing up here. And of course, remember today being Remembrance Day. Take some time to ponder and think. And the next time you see a veteran, or if you know someone, and that's not just Army, Navy, it's our police officers, our fire responders, our medical units. There's so many people that are involved, and we need to remember and appreciate. So take the time for that. Before we go, I want to say a special thank you to some of our supporters here. Of course, AG Event Graphics. You can find out more about them online at askguy.ca. They've been a supporter here of the show from day one, 8 years, and we're really grateful for all their support. And recently, Joe's Discount Tire and H&I Service Center as well as a part of Joe's Discount Tire, and they've been great supporters of us. And of course, our friends Active Ears and Oswald's Diner for their support. Really appreciate the support around here. And if you can't look at me, I know I say this every week, but I don't know. I haven't thought of a funnier way to say it. If you can't stand looking at me, but you're okay listening to me, you can go online and wherever podcasts are found, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. This will be available within 24 hours of this broadcast. And if you've enjoyed this, put a 10 in the comments below, please. And if you are watching the replay, please type replay in the comments below as well. And I'll be posting all the links to get more information about the guests that joined us here today. That's all the time I got for you this week, everybody. Have a great week and an even better weekend. Until next time, bye for now.